What's up, family? This is your man, not your boy. Go Black to Africa. Peace and blessings to each and every one of you all as you all come in. I tell you, something very disheartening has happened. I didn't even know till the good old doc here told me that China now owns the electric company. Or let's say the sales that is going to be generated from that, from what I've just read. We're going to get into the articles that are here. But not only that, China has taken over other collaterals that Ghana put up on the loans that they got that they defaulted on. I was like, why? Why do we do such ignorant things when it comes to business? Why is black folk the worst in when it comes to finances? Why don't we know how to budget? Why don't we know how to do contractual deals? Why don't we know how to make? Do you think America's so-called $41 trillion is affected by China coming in and seizing up its resources? No. See, America, they already laid out because of they know how to lay out contracts and stuff. What they do is they issue out bonds, the treasury bonds. When you have debt that you're trying to get rid of, you have countries buy into bonds. But, I tell you, this is something that is very disturbing, and we're going to get into this. I didn't even know what's all on the table. You know what's so interesting is that when you talk about an economy let me give you an example. Now, most of you all probably already know. When you go borrow money from somebody, I tell my kids this, anytime somebody asks you for money to borrow, what they're telling you up front is they're broke. Because think about it. How will they, peace and blessings to all y'all that's coming in. How do they pay you back when they already in the hole? Because they got to pay their regular bills. So where are they going to muster up extra to pay you back? The only way they can do that is go rob Peter to pay you. And that means that you got to go get another loan to pay you back and then turn around and have to pay them back. So now you got to pay them back by going to get a loan somewhere else and all that there. But here's the scary part. The scary part is this right here. And I'm going to get into this right here. If the country is relied upon, because their cocoa is up for grabs already, they gotta give the cocoa. Let's get into the letter real quick, because we're gonna get into it. I don't want to keep this too long. This is crazy. I'm like, who's your financial Ministry of Finances, and who are the people who? But this has been going on for the last 20 years, they said. I don't get it, y'all. Why are we this way? Why are we so ignorant when it comes to money? Look at everybody back there laughing at them. The laughing stock. Everybody's laughing at Ghana now because Ghana is the first that's about to lose it now. They have to give it up. Why are we the ignorant ones when it comes to money? I know money is new to Ghanaians and Africans all around the globe. But even when I think about, man, black folk in America, man, we don't even know how to handle money. All we know how to do is spend, borrow, steal, rob, borrow. This is what we do. Don't have a know-how to invest, how to budget, how to save. I'm saying, man, I'm telling you, I'm like, man, thank goodness there are other countries out here who understands how to manage and budget. Because I'm going to tell you, I'm going raw today because sometimes we need an ass whipping. Because I've watched lose our houses. Y'all got to bear with the internet. It goes in and out. I've seen so much of us lose so much. And I'm making sure y'all can't hear me, right? Okay. Um, we lose all this because we're ignorant into finances and we do not know how to budget. One of the biggest issues I see in Africa, even with our people in America, we don't know how to maintain nothing. We don't know how to put money aside to keep what you done purchased to maintain it. This is why we have hoods. You see, people go buy these houses and they stretch themselves, but they ain't got no money when something breaks on it. They ain't got nothing to keep it power washed every 2-3 years. You see that the daggone mold starts to grow on it. The house needs repainting. The shutters start to fall off. The gutters begin to fall and bend. The roof, the rooftops begin to have holes in it because we don't even know how to set money aside for future maintenance. This is the budget problem I find in Africa. Because these people who are wanting to be in government, but don't know how to even handle business. This is a god doggone shame. Let's get into this letter right here. Right. This right here is from Yen. They laughing in China. Let me make sure that I can hear myself. This right here is from Yen. Okay, good. They laugh. This right here is newspaper Yen. Listen to this right here. And we're going to go down this right here and see the problems that Ghana is facing. A huge problem Ghana is facing. And I'm going to break it down to you because many of y'all probably don't know how these economies work. Listen right here. China to take over Ghana's mineral revenue and electricity sales in default of 4 loans, says IMF. This is another article. This right here is by Modern Diplomacy. Defaulting on collateralized Chinese loans, Ghana will lose its state properties. Now let's get over here to the article. A report by IMF on Ghana's external debts show that should Ghana fail to honor obligations under the loan agreement with China, it could lose revenue from its mineral resources and electricity sales. This was written 23 May. It's already happened, y'all. This was written 23 May. They already lost it. Details of Ghana's collateralized loans from China show that the Asian country could have the right to use proceeds from Ghana's oil, cocoa, bauxite, or even the sales from electricity to settle the debt. It's already happened. I've already been told that the electricity company now is owned by China. Ghanaians, get ready for the boost in your electricity bill because China's going to want to get their money back quickly. They don't want to play around with it. Continue. China owns about 2/3 of all of Ghana's external loans, making the Asian superpower an important party in discussion about Ghana's loans. Little did I know, I ain't going to just pick on Ghana. Do you know China owns about 30% of America's debt, having their treasury bonds? It's just not Africa. China's all over the place in other countries too. They buy into these countries, give loans or buy into their debt, get the treasury bonds, make their interest. If not, we gets to take. So listen to this right here. The International Monetary Fund, IMF, have published details on Ghana's 4 collateralized Chinese loans in a report compiled in connection with the $3 billion bailout program. The report shows that should Ghana fail to honor obligations under the loan agreement, which I hear that they have, with the Asian economic superpower, it could lose revenue from its mineral resource and electricity sales. It's already happened, y'all. That's already happened. This right here article is the 23rd. When I was told today by the good old doctor here, he said, China owns electricity now. I said, huh? He said, oh, yeah. They didn't pay back the loans. They defaulted on the loans. Listen to this right here. Per data released by the IMF, should Ghana default in paying the loans contracted from China, China would have the right to use proceeds from Ghana's oil, cocoa, bauxite, or even the sales from the electricity to settle the debt. This is because Ghana contracted the loans by collateralizing some 8 national assets. Who in the world was sitting there making this deal? Why do we always make deals that we are not able to fulfill, knowing that you have a new administration's coming in behind you and that you're leaving them a trail of debt that actually will handcuff them to do business or try to build a country when you have all this surmountable amount of debt that you can't even get rid of. And so when the new administration comes in and then they try to clean up what was messed up, you ain't got no money to do anything. So now the next person goes in and gets further in debt. So check this out right here. Ghana owes China 1.9 billion, but 619 million of this amount is collateralized. So what does that mean, collateralized? That means you got to give up something. You know how it is, collateral. You go to the bank, you say, I want to buy a house. Okay, all right. You want to buy a house? Okay, you want to get a loan for a car? All right. What collateral you might have? In other words, if you default on this loan, what do you have to give up? Typically, if it's a house loan, you're giving up that deposit that you put down. At least 20% down, you put down, that money's gone. Out of here. Typically the same way if it came down to, well, autos is a little differently, but when you're putting up collateral for something, you're really putting yourself in risk. Now look at this right here. Now let me blow this up a little bit so y'all can see this. Over the years, since 2007, they took out a loan of 306 million for the purpose of a hydropower project 400. I think that's our hydropower for their electricity. The sector was for the power, and the collateral was to give up cocoa exports. Why in the world? You're the second leading cocoa producer. That means that now China takes over your export income, money that you receive, your GDP that takes care of paying your government officials, paying for schools, paying that money now is going to take care of that debt that China's going to take care of them exports to get their money back out of. Now, how do you take care of yourself? To 2012, there was $75 million. They got a loan on that hydropower. It looked like somebody didn't do the math correctly, and they kept going on, and they got 3 loans for a hydropower project. And they surrender. They said, if we fail on this loan, we give up our cocoa exports. In 2013, it was a Western Corridor gas infrastructure project, Jubilee Oil Field. They took $850 million of loans out for this and for the sector of the power. And if they default on it, they will surrender their oil exports. 2013, Integrated National Security Communication Enhancement Network. I'm trying to figure this out. You don't even have a freaking military. But maybe you just computer security, maybe you're looking for, because dang show, this is Integrated National Security Communications Enhancement Network. Okay. You're giving up your oil exports for that. 2019, $186 million was construction of 11 coastal fishing landing sites projects, which is agriculture. They will also surrender up their oil export. This is my thing right here. If we default on a loan, why am I going to go and bother something that is out of the confines of that I'm doing the project? No. If it's going to be power, then you will go ahead and get the power. You're not going to touch our cocoa. No, if it's oil and we're doing a project on oil, okay, all right, then we will take losses in that oil project. And okay, we're exporting oil because we default on the loan, then let it be the oil. But why are you touching your cocoa? Why are you touching your bauxite? Across intelligent traffic management system and road completion. What? The freaking terrible roads here in Ghana? There ain't a traffic light that works. Well, excuse me. Yes, there is. I don't want to go ahead and shame Ghana like that. There is. I bet you, I can be willing to bet less than 50% of the traffic lights out here work. Road completion. Road what? In front of the Jubilee House? Road completion of what? That was 211 million. You're going to give up your oil exports. I would have done a daggone for if it's going to be the traffic light all right there. I'm going to put a toll out here on the major highways and say, y'all get that money out of that toll. People ain't going to like it. They got to pay, but put it at the borderline, or put it, not the borderline, but put it out there, where it's like, hey, the most traveled. So most people going to just pay them a minimal fee and then get that over with and be done with. Pay the joker off. But oil exports, it's going to take a crunch in your economy, in your GDP. And so that's going to happen then is that what do you do though? When you are the money you depend on as your GDP, your exports, how do you take care of now your house? How do you take care of the people working? Something is going to fall. 2019 was construction rehabilitation and selected roads and interchanges in Ghana phase 1. I don't know, maybe some roads out there I just don't know about, but they gave up their bauxite exports. Let's continue. Let's go into this other article. Defaulting on collateralized Chinese loans. Ghana will lose its state properties. Well, from what I'm told, they already done that. After several negotiations, the International Monetary Fund has finally granted approval for a special drawing rights of $2.242 billion, equivalent to $3 billion to the Republic of Ghana. Its democracy. Hold up. What's the article? What date is this? This is March 26th. Okay. Its democracy, economic development down the years have been considered as model for Africa, but surprisingly, under the current administration headed by Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, due to gross mismanagement and inappropriate use of budgetary funds, have created deep economic crisis. The government has consistently blamed COVID-19 and Russia-Ukraine crisis for its economic predicament. As part of the IMF deal, committed to implementing a number of post-pandemic programs to build resilience and lay the foundation for stronger economic growth, including an ambitious structural reform agenda to reinvigorate private sector-led growth by improving the business environment, governance, and productivity. Okay, this is what the IMF says is that they have granted approval for a special drawing rights. Historically, the government of Ghana. Hold on a second. Did I miss? Yeah. As part of the IMF deal, committed to implementing a number of post-pandemic programs to. Okay, I read that. Historically, the government of Ghana has contracted various loans from People's Republic of China, purposely to undertake various projects. Since it took over political administration from the Sustainable Economic Development Committed National Democratic Congress as president of the Republic of Ghana in 2017, as worldwide business rules, it offered its part of its resources as collateral security. Failure to repay the contracted loans requires seizure of the properties. Reports have now emerged May 23rd, making authentic references to the IMF that China would take over Ghana's mineral revenue and electrical sales in default of 4 loans. The report by the IMF on Ghana's external debts show that should Ghana fail to honor obligations under the loan agreement with China, it could lose revenue from its mineral resources and electric sales. Details of Ghana's collateralized loans from China show that the Asian country could have the right to use proceeds from Ghana's oil, cocoa, bauxite, or even the sales from the electricity to settle the debt China owns about 2/3. So I kind of read that from the other articles. Yeah, so I kind of read that from the other article. But according to the report by Joy News, in about 20 years, Ghana has borrowed close to $5 billion from at least 41 Chinese loan facilities. Per data released by the IMF, China would also have the right to use proceeds from Ghana's oil, cocoa, bauxite, or even the sales from electricity to settle the debt. Look, let me say this right here. And I know government is probably beyond in my understanding when you are in an office that you have to deal with, coming in with your administration and dealing with histories of problems that it seems like you will not even be able to fix within the 4 years you're going to be in office. Coming in to try to find out how to progress and also depress from the debts that have been incurred, the bogus deals that have been done, and how to push your country forward without hurting the people. I cannot even imagine what a president or the administration will have to go through. But I will say this right here. What blows my mind is how can you go get loans for certain things that I think your manufacturing should be your priority. Why aren't you building manufacturing? Get loans to build manufacturing. That brings jobs to the people. Your processing plant for your cocoa, you send billions of dollars worth of cocoa out of here only for them to go process it over in Europe. Now, I know I did a YouTube video about Ghana's talking about they're going to process their own cocoa. But what about some other process? What about, you got oil? Why aren't you doing that? Instead of taking the oil, sending it off to be manufactured or processed or what have you into gasoline, why can't you build facilities for that so that you cut the middleman out and you reap all of I would get loans for that. That's going to bring me money, because bring me the money. Because this is not bringing you money into the country. Intelligence traffic management system, that ain't bringing you money into your country. Integrated National Security Communications Enhancement Network, we're going to have to wait because that 150 million is going to build a processing plant. And then the money we make off by saving the billions of dollars by sending our cocoa over here to the Europeans to go ahead and process and send it back to us, and we pay triple the amount of cost on it, makes no sense. So let me come back to y'all. Like I said, I know it's more complicated than I even know. I know this whole thing is crazy, and I know that being a president and an administration is something that is probably beyond my understanding. But I tell you this right here, we got to do better, y'all. Hey, thanks, we woke now. Hey, I appreciate you, brother, man, coming in. Thank you, man, for your heart of giving. Hey, let me say this to people right here too, and I appreciate those who give and stuff like that. If you have a heart of giving, if you're moved to give, I ask that you give to my not PayPal, but my Cash App. Google, we have, and I talk about budgeting and money. I give money to people on their YouTube channels through through my Cash App, because YouTube takes 30 freaking % of the money, and we keep making these jokers all the money. I thank you for your heart, that those who want to give and all that right there. And there are those who don't have Cash App. And I will say to you, thank you. I appreciate it. But I love you, but I don't want to give them the money. I don't want to give them the money. I can't stand giving them money 30%. Somebody gonna say, so you mean to tell me, Go Black, you rather give up 70% than 30%? Well, when you sit in my position, yeah. All money ain't good money. When you get tired, I get tired. Do you know how many tens of $1,000s I turned down from people who wants to do use my channel for propagating their product, their ideas and stuff that I know that is an inhibiting factor to our people, or even the good of across my morale or my belief systems in the Most High. So I thank you all. I thank you all. But I say that for those who are moved to give, I have a Cash App. I have a Cash App. It's in the description. And let's save you 30%, because that's 30% going every time. Bam, 30%. Yes. So yeah, let's do that. But anyway, so I wanted to come out here and share this right here, brothers and sisters, on what's going on right here with Ghana. And it's sad that we do not have the mindset to know how to do deals to protect our country, our resources, our infrastructures. We don't know how, and the reason is because, these people who go into these offices don't even know how to, they're not financially, uh, you know, gurus, financial gurus, budgeting gurus. I see it all over the place. I asked, matter of fact, a developer today, I said, he was telling me he was going to have this building built. One of the buildings he's building built in 2 years. And I said, yeah, right. Look at all these projects around here, been sitting around here for years. And so he broke down to me of they have the lack of finances. They have the lack of know-how, how to do with their finances. See, he is a very intelligent young man who he says that he's got his stuff in order because he's got the project going, and he's completing them all. I bought my apartment from him, but we lack of knowledge in how to handle money. Money is not necessary for just spending, my brothers and sisters. When I woke up and realized that you got to know how to use money and use it in a way to where it works for you, not you necessarily work for it. You got to know that this money can bring back some money to you. You put it out there to work, and it brings money back to you. You also have to put money aside for things that you decide that you want to buy. Our problem is that we don't know how to count. Oh, I'm going to go buy this BMW. But you never thought about it's going to cost you $800 just to get oil change. I remember I bought my BMW back in 1988. Boy, it sucked up one half of my check because I was ignorant to money. I thought flashing and looking good was everything. I never, ever considered how much it costs to keep that joker maintained. This is the lack we have. We never buy stuff and keep in consideration of maintenance. Okay, I'm buying this car, so I'm going to set aside 5% each month so that I can get the oil change. When the brakes go out, I get the brakes repaired. When my tires go bald, I got money to set aside for the tires, any other maintenance issues that might come out, whatever. I got to have the money set aside for that. We don't do that. This is why y'all always buying cars every 4 years, because you don't know how to maintain. I see it around here and everywhere I go. Engine lights are on. Lights are flashing. Cars are sputtering. And it's like the door handle's falling off. These are Uber drivers. And I'm like, oh my gosh. Okay, I got to pay an extra 10 CDs because I got to get a comfort car. And those are typically a little better. All right. And even some of those are like, oh my gosh. Okay, I'm going to have to probably pay a little more. I got to the point I'm buying my own car. Oh, brother. You don't understand. It's so expensive to get to car maintenance. And I don't want to hear that crap. I don't want to hear it. That used to be me back in the day. No, Rotate your freaking tires every 3,000 miles when you get your daggone oil change. Why? So they can wear out evenly. So when it's time to buy tires, you buy 4 new ones. Don't be that joker that go out there and buy one tire out there and you're just sputtering around bald tires. You buy one and it causes you don't even realize because you got a newer tire on the car and the other tires are wore more, then you're going to cause that brand new tire to wear even more because your car now is off balance. We don't know how to deal with money. We don't know how to maintain nothing. I've said this before. Africa needs to, at first thing, when that president come into office, he or she needs to say, we cleaning up our country. First and foremost, everybody get out there and pick up that trash. We're going to have a clean country, first and foremost. And we're going to stand up right and we're going to be respectable people. We're going to be respectable because when we live in clean atmospheres, it's like a haircut. You feel good. Clean your garbage up. Clean up your finances, budget. How long are you going to walk around broke? How long are you going to be? A guy come up to me today and asked for, can I buy him some food? And I sat there and I talked to him. And I was annoyed. I was annoyed. I went off on the guy. I was like, man, come on, man. Look at you, man. You up here begging to me, man. Why, do you have any self-respect? Do you know how often every day somebody is begging? How old are you? 29. Why are you begging? Well, I'm looking for a job. No, man, look at your haircut. Look at you're shaving all right there. No, you saw that I was an American because you saw where I'm coming from and you thought you can go ahead and just ask me for food. So I ran some stuff down to him, right? Which probably went through one ear and the other, went through one ear and after the other. Well, thank you, brother. I appreciate what you told me because I told him, only thing I got for you really is ideas, creativity ideas. What do you need? You need a job? Well, I'm looking for a job and am I supposed to go to construction down here tomorrow, this and that. You want a job? I give you a job. Right? I know the owner right over here at the car wash. He wasn't hearing that. But check this out. This is how Negroes do. I turned around and I bought him food. I went over there, food place. I told her sister, 7 CDs, give him some food. She asked him, what do you want? Rice. I said, okay, 7 CDs, can he get some rice and beans for 7 CDs? He says, yes. But check this out. This joker, he then turns around and asks for 2 boiled eggs, some plantain, and 3 scoops of sauce over his rice. That woman come to me, say 13 CDs. I said, no, it ain't. I told you 7 CDs. She took his boiled eggs. She took his plantains out of his thing. I said, why would you do that? Well, look, this is the sickness that we have. This is why when I did in my video and I said that the missionaries, when they came in and the missionaries came in and King Leopold had wrote in his letter, and this was the whole mission, them Catholics, them Christians, they come in here teaching. But he said, teach them, but don't teach them how to reason. We don't know how to reason. We don't know how to think things through. We don't know how to analyze. We don't know how to, what's the word I'm looking for? We just, it's sad. It is sad. This is America too. Everybody walking around borrowing from each other. Jokers today now, they don't care. I'm telling you, it's off the chain there in America. Them jokers run around stealing. They gang stealing, carjacking, robbery, all the crimes are up. Taking the easy road, all because of the fact that lazy. So family, anyway, we need to go ahead and get our act in order. Critical thinking. Thank you very much, Patrick. That's the word I was looking for. Critical thinking. We got to get beyond this. You get money. Oh, I can go get a loan. Let me get the loan. You see, I said this right here before. I saw a video, matter of fact, today, a brother on a video today, one of the brothers got a YouTube channel. He saw a brother driving a Lamborghini. He asked him, he said, hey, brother, I'm doing a YouTube video. Do you mind if I go ahead and interview you? He said, I see you driving a Lamborghini. And he said, yeah. The guy says, how much money do you make? How much money do you make in a month? He said, I'll tell you how much I made last month. I made $500 million. He said, whoa. So he asked him a few questions about how did he get to where he was. He said he used to get himself caught up in a pickle in business, but he got up on the game of borrowing money. So then it took him to the next level, which it will. Which it will. Ain't nothing like you only have to give up 20% of your money and the bank gonna give you 80% for a business loan. That's a very good deal. But for me, I'm not going to do it. And I can do it. And I'm quite sure I can be head over heels. Why? Because you see, I serve the Most High who said, I'll be the lender, not the borrower. I don't need to be in debt to somebody. You see, them same jokers who told me, they laugh at me, say, man, why are you using your own money, man? You buying properties on that sort of, man, go get the bank loan, man, and use their money, man. And your money can go to else things. I said, nah, man, because I want my property to be my property. I don't want to owe nobody nothing. COVID hit, them jokers lost their properties. Why? Because people could stop paying their rent. Because most of them jokers get them Section 8s, and most of them people had affordable housing, and they were renting these jokers out. And the government said they don't have to pay. But guess who was wanting their money? The banks. And they had to foreclose on it. Oh, yes. So you lost your 20% deposit down on that, or your down payment on those properties. Yeah, you probably made your grip, but see, now you lost the properties, you lost your down payments on them and all right there. And I laughed while I had mine. See, yeah, all the money in the world don't mean nothing. It's the peace of mind. It's when you can sleep comfortably and not have to worry about somebody knocking at the door telling you paperwork says this. We think loans is the easiest thing to go get, and it's the worst thing. Loans is the worst thing you can ever do. That's why I keep saying majority of African countries don't give loans. They don't have loans, but they're slowly coming in, especially here in Ghana. Because that most average African, they will build their house, their CD upon CD, and they'll get it complete. It may take them 10 years. It may take them 15 years. But guess what? When they're done and completed with it, it's theirs. In America, 30-year mortgage, and you never pay off your house. Never. 15 years, they pay off their house, they brick upon brick. They move in the first room, keep building on to the next room, build on to the next room, and all that right there. Boom, my house. It took me 15, 20 years. I got my house. I see it. It took them forever. But guess what? It's theirs, and nobody can come take it. Not at all. Nobody. With that, family, I hope you learned something today. You are either going to be a wise person using the precepts, the laws, the commandments of the Most High. Don't be going out here getting loans. Don't be going out here getting loans. It's a trap. It's a trap. And what it does, because America's a debt society. I keep telling all these Africans who, I want to go to America. I want to go to America to make money. Everybody's in debt in America, brother. My nephew, look, I'm going to continue on. I just talked to my nephew yesterday. He lost his job, got fired. What you going to do, nephew? Well, I'm going to go ahead and I got my law degree. I'm gonna go ahead and put that up and go ahead and take my bar. Oh, okay. So you're gonna put that to work. Okay. All right. But I didn't say this to him, but here's a problem. Because what's interesting, he worked while his wife finished her nurse practitioners. And so, he was able to work, take care of the household, whatever it might have been. while she did her biz. Of course, I'm quite sure she was bringing in some money too to help assist. But now he is out, and now, of course, we're gonna see. Of course, she should have his back when going through taking his bar to take a break to go ahead and study and prepare himself. But women are different because, and I told my wife this right here. I told my wife, I said, "Shoot, how long would a black sister go with an unemployed husband and all the bills are sitting on her shoulders till she gets a little upset? Let her come home and dinner not cooked. The house ain't clean. You sitting on your PlayStation. You ain't there. How long will the arguments begin? How long? But it's beautiful that they both will have each other's back, but you better be prepared because when finances come in, things get tough and they get tight. That's why I said, brothers and sisters, never live off of both incomes. Live off of one. Let the other one be butter. That's what I do in my household. My wife makes 3 times as much as I make. I don't touch her money for none of the bills. I take care of our house, our living, our everything. And so then hers is butter. And we live comfortably. And now that she's about to end her job, we're going off for a whole month or so, and we're going to travel to 3 countries, and we're going to enjoy, and we don't have to worry about her rushing to get no money in. I'm trying to get her into just chilling. But that's when you know finances, you know budgeting, you know how to maintain. So you know how to get money, you know how to get the money to work for you, and you know how to maintain what you have. When you get to that place, you are good. Peace and blessings to each and every one of you all. Glad you all came in. I hope y'all learned something. Stay out of debt, my brothers and sisters. Peace and blessings to all. Until next time, I'm out.